Okay, overall, looks much better. I kind of scanned through and went through the whole video first. So here you are doing the serpentine in the round pen, and that looks pretty good. I just make sure every time you're squeezing on the rein to make her turn that you're using your leg at the same time. So right rein, right leg, and then your left rein and left leg when you bend her back. Because again, in the end, we're trying not to ride them off our hand, but we're trying to ride them off of our leg. When she turned here, a couple of things happen. So let me go back. So as you get up here, if you were going to turn, that's fine. Just look the direction, then I'd lean back, hold her. Then right there, if I can stop it, I would have pressed with your outside rein and leg and kind of leaned back to hold her, because what she did was pull you through the turn. So even if she's drifting, you want to try and look up, you know, focus on something over here, lean back more because it'll make you stronger, and kind of brace your back and tighten your legs so she can't pull you. And then open that right rein up to help you to guide her over here, because just pulling back, she's going to drift more. So if you know it's somewhere they're drifting or they're dragging you, open that rein, then take that left rein in hand and press it right against her neck, and then use your left leg kind of right at the girth. And if she's ignoring you, start really bumping her with that leg so she can't ignore you. So here we go. So see, she's kind of dragging you, then you're looking down, and then she's kind of got you. So you want to press harder with that left rein against her neck, and then you'll see you didn't do much with that leg, because a lot of times we're just, you know, thinking they're dragging us around the turn and we're just using our hands. But it's going to help a lot more if you use that leg to kind of push her over. And if she's ignoring you, I think I would carry a dressage whip anyhow, because she looks a little bit lazy. What I would do is when you go around the turn, have that whip in your hand, and you can either kind of tap her or wave it here in the neck region towards her head to make her want to move away from it, and that'll help your turn in the end. But you always want to lean back in turns. It helps to kind of collect the horse and help so they can't drag you through the turn. So here we go again, lean back, pull, open the right rein, pull harder on that left rein, lean back, and here she sped up, so I'd lean back and push your feet in front of you. You kind of release because you were being nice, and then she took advantage of that and just went faster. So around turns like that, you're going to have to hold her until she understands she's not supposed to speed around the turn. That turn's not bad. It's just you lean forward and kind of look down. So you want to make sure you lean back and you look kind of through the horse's ears where you want to go. Oh, well, watch as you go here. So this is just kind of her trail walk, and that looks fine. I think her headset is fine for at the moment. I don't think she needs the martingale. She's responding pretty well, and she does lower her head at times, and her head's not sky high or anything. So as long as, you know, when you put pressure on both reins, she drops her head down. So if we need it as you get faster in case she gets pacey. But the rest of the time, your eyes are up more. You're sitting up tall. Again, I think it's looking much, much better compared to the previous ones. So there, same thing. You just, on your turns, you tend to tilt forward and look down. So you want to kind of prepare, and anytime you're going to turn, you want to think lean back, kind of hold her together with both those reins, and keep looking right over her head to see where you want to go. All right, I was saying that with the walking horses, because some of them have such a big stride, you get a fair amount of back and forth motion, which can sometimes cause chafing or it's just uncomfortable. So if you're getting that at all, adding a fleece cover to your saddle makes a huge difference. And then it keeps you warm in the winter and helps with the sweating during the summer because it absorbs some of that. So it does help a lot with chafing. So that's a little bit better on your turn. You did look up more. I would have leaned back just a little bit more and used just a little bit more outside leg if she was drifting. But it was a very nice circle. So there you just stopped, and it was a nice stop. Now, I think you go to back up here. So as you back up, she's just very slow about it. She's doing it, but not with much energy. So I would try to get more from her before you reward her. I would try to get her a little bit faster back up with a little bit more energy and try to get more steps. Again, it's fine if you do 2 steps, rest, and then ask for more. But I try to get 5 to 10 steps of backup. It's good for their stifles. It's good for their hindquarters. Now with your turn here, you did look down a little bit and then you kind of let her dribble forward. So you had a nice turn. The only difference you needed to do was lean back, hold her more, and push more with that right leg. With the walking horses, they tend to drift because they're so flexible. So as you turn and you use that right rein and leg as you were turning, every time you ask for a step, then relax it and be ready with your other rein, your left rein and leg, to catch them. Because as you're asking them to turn, they usually drift. And then if you release and then pull on that left rein and block her with the left leg, it usually keeps the shoulders from drifting. So it'd be right rein and right leg at the same time, and then catch her with the left rein and leg, and then go back to the right leg and right rein again. But overall, it was pretty good. She just dribbled a couple steps forward, and you're just trying to be clear with her that you don't want her to take any steps. The horses always try to do the easiest thing. So if they can move forward instead of turning their hindquarters, that's usually what they'll do. And one direction's always better than the other as well. So here you start going faster. It looks like your flat walk. So next time when you make the video, just yell out what you're doing, just so I know. There she goes more towards a running walk, and she got her head a little bit high, but you did get her back down. So we're just trying to make sure that when you ask her to go a speed, that she keeps a consistent speed. It looks like you're having a dig with your heel the whole time, and that just means that she's not sensitive or she's ignoring you. So I would carry a dressage whip, and when you ask her to go, you know, ask her lightly with your leg, and then if she doesn't go, you can tap her a little bit with the spurs. But if she doesn't keep going, then go to your stick. Don't work harder with your leg, or you're always going to have to work harder. So I would just use your leg, and if she doesn't go, wave the stick. But her flat walk is good. Her head carriage is fine because she's not getting pacey here. She does have a nice head shake. She's stepping up. If you're getting more motion in the saddle than you want, because everybody's different on their preference, then you can bring her head down more and round her out, and then you usually won't get as much back and forth motion. But very good stop. So here, I think you're practicing your stop, but I wasn't sure if she wandered off at all. If she wandered off, I'd stop and back up quicker. But here, it's a nice backup. It's just not very energetic, and she's just kind of dragging her feet as she's doing it. So you want to add a little bit more energy to it. If you had a stick, you could kind of tap her on the shoulder. If you tap her on their leg, behind your leg, they always think go forward. So tap her on the shoulder, or even take the stick and tap her a little bit in the chest as you're trying to back up, or towards her knees. It'll make her move away from the stick and want to go backwards faster. So I would just like a little bit more energy to it. And it's hard when they pull you forward. You just try to brace and hold them. I mean, you did a pretty good job. Here, I would just look up and lean back. I know you know she's pulling you a little bit. Right there, I would have pulled on the right rein and right leg because she's drifting. So I'd lean back, keep holding her here. And see, she pulled you back around. Now we're kind of looking back at her head. So you want to look, and I would have that stick in your left hand, and I would have hit her a couple of times with that stick to get her to respond. And I know she's doing it because she wants to see her friend over here. They all want to do that. But if you lean back a little bit, tapped more with that stick, you would have got there a little bit quicker turn, a little bit better, and you would have got her from being distracted from her friend over here. Now here it looks a little bit faster to me, but it does keep changing in speed. So there she looks like she's doing a flat walk, but just before it looked like more of a running walk. So that's the only thing I'm just not clear on what speed we're going for here. Her legs are correct. It's 4 beat. It looks quite good. It's just keeping that speed consistent as you're going around. And with some of the walking horses, you're very soft with your hands, which is good. The head carriage is good. But at times in the video, I saw her head get a little bit low and her get more long instead of collected. And that usually adds a lot more motion in the saddle. So it's fine if her head goes lower. You just want to keep some semi-collection so you're not getting a lot more motion up in the saddle. So there she slowed down. Again, right before that, she was faster. And that might have been because you were stopping. So that's okay. When you stop, though, I would make sure when you stop, she keeps pulling her head down. So I would stop, hold, make her give to the bit. Then if you're going to give her a break, let her sit on a loose rein. So anytime you're giving her a break and you're not going to go off within, say, 60 seconds, loosen your rein up so she can stretch her head down. And you just want to make sure she's not learning to give herself a release by yanking the reins out of your hands. So every time you stop, hold her, make her give to the bit, and then once she gives to the bit and you're going to rest, just loosen the reins all the way up and just hold on to the buckle and let her sit there. That way you'll teach her not to pull on the bit anymore, and you'll teach her that if she drops her head down, you're going to release. But here, by you petting her after she did that, you kind of rewarded her for doing the wrong thing, which lots of times we do, but it's all about timing. So I'd make sure she did it correctly. She gave to the bit. She's not pulling, at least for many seconds before you start doing it. And then you could pet her. Okay, so it looks like you're going to do another turn on the forehand. So eyes are better. She's moving off your right leg better, and she's not dribbling this time. So until right at the end. So I would just hold her more towards the end, make sure she completes the turn, and then I would pet her. But your eyes were better. I think having a stick and using it in the outside hand when you go to the turn will get her to do it much faster, more clear, and not be so lazy about it when she's doing it. So here's more of a flat walk. Again, it looks quite, sorry, sometimes I get close to the screen. It looks quite good. She's stepping up. It looks like she's staying pretty straight. And again, the only thing I would do is as you're picking up more speed, I would keep a little bit more contact on her so the reins don't get loopy at all until we're sure she's consistently staying the speed and not go to her pace. But for now, I don't know why that number just came up. It looks pretty good. You know, the hardest part with keeping the speed is how much leg and how much hand to use. And you're kind of using both at the same time. It's like riding the brakes and the gas, because you want to push them so they keep going, but you're getting ready to half halt so they don't speed up too much. It's kind of you push them, you hold them, you push them, you hold them, and then you keep them going in that speed. And then once they're keeping that speed consistent, you know, a circle or two around that round pen, then stopping and giving them the break, because they don't understand to stay the same speed or why we want to keep going in that speed. Now here, I wasn't sure if she's dribbling off again. If she kept walking forward while you were playing with the reins, I would have stopped and backed her up 5 steps. And if she walked off again, then I would have backed up 10 steps. You just want to be clear. Again, was she supposed to be going there, or she was just going forward on her own? Because we always want her to understand that us pulling on the reins and the bit means either to slow down or to stop. But they get that idea better if we're consistent with it. So here, the speed keeps changing a little bit. So if she started going towards a running walk, now she slowed down again. But again, overall, a very good walk. Here she gets a little bit more lanky. You'll see she's kind of reaching out more with that head and neck, which is fine. But again, it creates a little bit more motion in the saddle, usually with the walking horses. So you just have to see, is that something you like or you don't like? But otherwise, I think her gaits in this video were quite good. So on this turn, so far it's good. And your eyes were much better and your body was much better. So that was a good one because she just pivoted on her front end and she didn't dribble off at all until now as you're going off. So that was your best one so far in this video. And it did make a huge difference when you were looking up and holding her. So now it looks like you're back to a flat walk. And again, you might have thought you were flat walking the whole time, but at times you did get up more towards a running walk and she stayed clear. So I think you're doing good with your hands. Keep your hands wide if she's getting crooked at all. And, just keep steering her with your legs. As you guys get better and more time, I'd stay a little bit more off the rail. A lot of gaited horses get very crooked. So if you can keep them a couple of feet off the rail, then you can practice holding them straighter. But it's a lot of work to hold them straight. So the wall always helps to hold them straight, but in the end, we want the horse to be able to carry themselves straight no matter where we are. So that was closer to a running walk. Now she's slowed back down again. So overall, I think you're doing a great job. Everything's improved. Your body position's better. Your eyes are better. Again, we hope for perfection in time, but of course it takes a long time to get there. So keep working on your eyes. Keep thinking about leaning back on your turns and then blocking her with the opposite rein and leg if she's drifting at all. And then just the speeds of your flat walk and the running walk, once you put her into them, you're trying to keep a consistent speed. You can use like looking at their mane to see how much their mane is shaking, or some people will use like a rhythm beads and put it on their neck because then they can hear when the rhythm's changing. And you can also use music. You can put your iPhone on and play a song that works for the speed of their flat walk and the running walk. So you can do that too. But overall, I think everything is much, much better. You're making a really pretty picture with her. She's gaiting well. And for you not riding her, consistently, because I know you're working a lot, I think you both did a phenomenal job.